3, 2, 1. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back. I'm trying to bring the energy because I'm sick and I haven't done this in a couple of weeks. Apologies. That is mainly because it is cold as hell, but I've been away, I've been sick, and yeah, that's been the whole thing. But before I went away, I made sure I did the week I was meant to. Some of you were doing it on my free combine challenge week, which was phenomenal. Thank you for everybody that got involved. There's gonna be another one in the first or second week of December, so get your eyes looking out for that. You can probably sign up in the bio right down below. Before we go any further, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell, that kind of thing. I'm over 100 subs now, so I'm basically Captain YouTube. I want to get that to 1,000 at some point, okay? By the end of the year? Nah, it's not happened, but I'm sure if you share amongst this, we'll be looking at more S&C based stuff, especially with this is a combination one, okay? This is gonna sit with the combine stuff that I'm gonna be producing about testing and stuff like that, which we're gonna go into more depth, and there'll be actually courses that you personal trainers can buy in terms of how to run your own combines and make it more specific to your sports or your general public or whatever, okay? Which tests are applicable to you. But today, one of the things I was going to do, and based off any triathletes that have stumbled over my channel and realized that shit, this guy's going to be doing a half Ironman, but he is actually a master's degree S&C coach and biomechanist, serial podcaster. But yeah, I ran my own combine on myself, which is very much a comprehensive view of fitness as we're going to go through. But look out for the next month or so. I'll be going over each day and each kind of batch of tests. And then behind, unfortunately, a little paywall, you'll be able to learn about every single test individually and how to run it and what it's actually entailing, okay? But we're going to do this. The whole purpose is I want to run a week of comprehensive full fitness. Then I'm going to do it just before pre-season into my triathlon stuff and compare and contrast and see if I can hang on to basically a lot of the strength, a lot of the power, a lot of the strength endurance, and probably see what my ESD is doing, okay? All that kind of view, okay? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think 16, 17 tests, which involve my whole week. And I'm going to be going through all of those really comprehensively, okay? So I'm going to set a little timer, make sure I'm not overloading. I'm meant to use this thing, but I end up using the watch anyway. But apologies if I slightly cough at any point during this. You can just pause and skip or whatever, 5 seconds. Yeah. So we're going to go over my personal results. That is looking through the looking glass, behind the curtain, behind the scenes of how weak I am. Currently haven't really lost much weight because I've been in Dubai playing golf for 2 weeks, and I've come back and I have just fallen sick. So I've been eating as much birthday cake. You've probably seen my birthday balloons behind me. So yeah, well into my 30s now, unfortunately. But coupled with, I've done 4 months of just pure triathlon cardio-based training, but still weight training once or twice a week, and which has kind of resonated with me. It's been quite interesting. I can speak anecdotally across the tests of what I know I'm good at, what I'm bad at, what I've seen as an improvement over the last time I did it, would have been about a year ago. Obviously, if you're a client of mine, you do these batch of testings a little bit more often, but we are a little bit more selective, okay? But if you're in the combine, which is a monthly subscription, at the start of every month, we run a testing week. And then if you're enrolled into that, every 3 to 4 months, we run a full testing fortnight and everybody jumps in, okay? Which is really cool. So I'd urge you to join that. Probably get your fitness started in December, which we're going to be testing for free, and then we'll be cracking on, and you'll already be enrolled and training all the way into January. Problem solved, really. Problem solved. It's going to be high rocks based. If you're a field athlete, or if you're basically becoming a better runner, those are the 3 big things that we train for. Yeah, get jacked up top, get more athletic down below, and excel at your sports, okay? pretty much. If you don't want an actual coach, which you could do if we want to really excel, but you want your programming done for you 5-6 days a week, runs, lifts, all that kind of jargon, resilience, power, force, all this stuff, which we turn the dimmer switches on each like month by month, going through different plans. Anyway, we digress. That'll be really good. All right, we're gonna go into this, okay? I'm gonna flick up my results in a 3, 2, 1. I'm starting my loom so I can go through this. So I did it, I believe, on the 16th or the 10th. I might have done it on a different day, I'm not too sure. But this is the little spreadsheet which everybody gets if you're in my kind of batch of testing. There's 2 tests which I haven't done or haven't redone. I have done this run before, and I could take a 5 minutes max from a track run that I've done, but it's not going to be much of a benefit, and I need to put another result. That hasn't come up apparently, so we're going to change that. Right, so this is the little combine thing. We've got test week 1, test week 2, which is nice and cool, all right? So whilst I go through this, we'll talk about on the day-by-day basis, everything that's going to be happening. I'm just going to have these 3 kind of running over and over in the corner. In terms of the testing, my reels that I win on Instagram, just like 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. They're just gonna scroll through just so you know what some of those lifts look like and at my kind of intensity what I was doing. And we'll talk over these tests, okay? For what we were doing, right? So if we look down here, we're gonna look at my results. We've got some strength testing. We're not gonna go into too much depth. We're gonna try and keep this video about 10 to 15 minutes because of course you're gonna be bored. But we're gonna learn a little bit about me and what I think will go down, what I think has gone up whilst I've been cardio-based training. So you've got to think most of my training right now has been running, swimming, and a bit of biking, okay? Yeah, the majority has been running because that's my weak link. That's my dimmer switch cranked on. The rest of them are just kind of middle of the ground. And my SSE has probably been down low because I'm fairly strong, and that is something I'm going to be able to hold on to, okay? But if we go through these, we've got strength testing, power testing, strength endurance testing, and ESD testing, okay? So these, as we split up, I've actually got 3 tests here, which is going to be, and generally speaking, this pull-up test can be a mixture of both. I do, depending on athlete, I do put it in here sometimes, okay? So we've got strength testing, which is all about lifting something up to 5 reps, okay? We should probably know what we'll be able to fail at 5 if you are a general decent lifter, okay? But if you're not, then it's a chance to try and see what you can do, okay? I don't mind if you do more than 5 reps, that's absolutely fine. The algorithm starts to get a little bit ropey once it gets back there, okay? So we had a trap bar deadlift. Don't really mind what you do. All this is doing is just working out what my projected RM is. I think it's probably higher than this. If I'm really honest, my absolute load, I bailed out pretty quickly on the 185, which I lifted for free, but I haven't done any strength work directly for 5 months, okay? So I'm not too I think at any one time, so I actually only put 185 on the bar because I was training in a gym where the bumper plates were really big and I could only put that much on the bar. So then I had to rep that out at 185, which is not my strong point. I'm better at probably just doing a single or a double rep lower weight, even for a free, that's like a 92%. I'm better at just lifting a 200 or a 210 or 220 single. I'm more likely than to grind that out at a really slow velocity. Just to put the velocity in perspective, my velocity rep was like 0.35 for each of them. There was no velocity loss, pretty much, if I think I remember correctly, which anybody knows my VBT stuff, which I'll go into again in the future. There's a video coming out on that. If there's no velocity loss, probably means that I had a bit more in the tank. We could probably have lost like a 0.1 there and grind out another couple of reps, I reckon. All right, then we got our split squat. So I did a Hatfield variation, which is cool. And we're looking at the discrepancy between left and right more than anything else. There wasn't anything. Probably could have been, but by the time of this, I was just kind of done. So I did Hatfield in a split squat, okay? The single arm dumbbell press, again, I probably could have pushed it a little bit more on the needle, or maybe my left arm tends to be stronger, even though I'm right dominant. But this is always challenging anyway. I think from the last time I did it, that would be, so if I'd say kind of the last time I did it, this would be down. This, I think, is probably about the same, probably slightly down, and this one is slightly down as well, okay? I think I hit like 45 kilos or a 50 kilo for 3 or 4 reps last time. So yeah, that's about right. All right, moving on to the power testing. I split these into 2 as well. So we actually normally have vertical force, which is these 3. And then we have horizontal force, which is these. This is a single leg thing. And then we have within those categories, we have reactive force against, so kind of stretch reflex force against muscular force, which is, it sounds complicated, but it isn't. Just add some pauses. One, we're utilizing like elastic properties and recycling energy. One, we're kind of trying to make energy straight away, or we're trying to get as much of the stretch reflex out of as possible, but I'll go into depth on that in terms of thing. Okay, you can look at the side, they're probably circling around. Okay, and then we got, so here, actually, which I'm pleasantly surprised with, the only thing I think that possibly went down would have been my horizontal force, but my vertical force, strangely, even though I'm a fat lump right now, increased. It definitely did. I'm not too sure how. Personally, I think it's probably the case of when I am doing S&C work, I do prioritize plyometrics, and just for the sheer fact that I've been doing a lot of low yield plyometrics in the forms of running, okay? Literally. I'm probably a little bit more bouncy because I've had to be, because I'm running more. Simple. I would probably concur that quite a lot of people who run probably can bounce and have a little bit more elastic properties in their Achilles and their knees than most who are just kind of force machines and have got big lifts here. They're probably better at the broad jump, maybe 100%, but they probably won't be as good at the triple broad jump, okay? Triple broad jump has to be 3 times this, at least. If it's not, then the reactive properties are all over the place, okay? So in theory, we're probably about borderline. I think 250 times 3 is 750, so we're pretty much about there, okay? Because you're reacting. You're trying to continue the force as you go along, all right? But we're gonna go into depth more of that. Then we've got a triple jump from left foot start and right foot start, which kind of tells us which one is more reactive. So left foot to right foot, and yeah, which one producing more force at the start, okay? Which is this one. And then we've got the body weight lift, which is just VBT. And if I'm honest, this is pretty quick. If I haven't got my thing, it's here. Okay, so 85 kilos would sit me in 1, 2, 3, in a speed strength kind of lifting weights near maximal speed, which is pretty quick, honestly. I'm always happy when something's above 1.0. For most people, okay, that is pretty much the go-to. That's what I would like to see. So it dips into the speed strength. Anything above the 1.3 is probably too quick, and that's probably under 20% of what our actual load would be. But we know this is actually, you can see if I'm lifting about 200, this is 85, so 100 would be 0.5 or 50%, give or take, meant to be 40%. I would say it's velocity wise, I'm probably lifting in theory about 27%, I think 27 to 30%. So yeah, I'm better at producing force on lower loads, which is cool, which means I can throw my body weight around a little bit better than most. Which is nice, which is good. So I'll give myself a nice big tick for that, okay? At the moment, I think these suck. Well, I think they should get better. Or at least stay the same throughout my training. These I'm pretty happy with. If they stay the same, I'm pretty happy with. This was good. These are what I expect to get better. Because I'm sheerly going to be able to, I don't know, just produce force over a long amount of time, I'm assuming. I don't really know. The 50% body weight goblet squat, I absolutely flummoxed that. This one was a big decrease in terms of just because I'm not lifting as much for as much volume. And yeah, I probably won't. So yeah, probably on hindsight, these will probably stay the same or even get worse. But my body weight should go lower. So I might be able to lift less load. So with that, it's an interesting one. That was just from sheer metabolic strength has gone down, honestly, and I'm totally expecting that. It's absolutely fine. The pull-up I think will get better because I'm going to get stronger through, unfortunately, my swimming, and I'm going to get lighter, okay? It's always easier when you're lighter. And press-ups, probably quite similar. Traditionally, I have quite long arms, so I find this quite tough. I find pressing quite tough anyway, and my goblet squat sucks, okay? My wattage on my peak power has actually gone down, which I'm not surprised. The highest it was when I was powerlifting, which was around 1800, 1850 wattage. It's still pretty respectable at 1604, but I've definitely got more in the tank, I think. This was at the end of the week, so, and also, I think I did hit higher, but it didn't record. Really, really wonderful. The row machine, this will get better, I know it will. 346 meters within 60 seconds. I'm pretty sure I would like to get above 400 on that. I think that was correct anyway, 346. I'd like to get above 400. And then, so the ESD is energy system development, so more aerobic based capacity, anaerobic based, and kind of ATP based recovery, right? So we've got 5 minutes max distance and then a run of whatever we decide to do. I'll probably just do another 5K. At the moment we're sitting at, based off this, was 22.4, but I've set myself a target to do a sub 20 by kind of the new year. So that I'll redo that at some point, okay? And then the running machine, this 5 minutes max distance, I think I'll do another run as well, just see what I can hit, crank out in 5 minutes. I should be able to do at least, I don't know, 1.1K maybe. We'll see. We'll do a speed K, shall we? And see what we can do. All right, so that is the summary of basically all of my lifts. The target is to see what happens more than anything else. I'm going to be a key believer in the fact that I think my S&C should still take precedent all the way through this lifting, this training, whilst I'm doing all my 70.3 training. That's my Ironman training. But I've seen some people out there and their strength and conditioning is fucking awful. And they'll just be doing leg curls and a squat, and that's their like S&C. It's barbaric, okay? We all know we should be hitting, if you are lost, put one exercise in this, a couple of exercises here, one exercise here, and then one exercise here. That could be your S&C session or resilience-based core exercise. That would be cool, real simple. But it seems to be shocking across the board that I've looked into triathlon-based training, so we'll see what happens. I will be predominantly doing a lot of the stuff I write for my combine, for my field-based athletes, and for my runners. That will be the makeup of all my sessions more than anything else. I'll stick between key movements, I'll have resilience-based stuff, I'll have power-based stuff, and then a little bit of hypertrophy, kind of strength endurance-based stuff. That would be my key 4 patterns, and then we probably won't be doing much peak power, if I'm honest, but we will be putting some ESD in or something like that, okay? Nice. All right, I hope that has been a little bit enlightening in terms of what I've done during my lifting, and with everything that's been going on to the side of me right here. That's been reasonably interesting to see in terms of what the lifts look like and what's been happening. Yeah, so the idea in 6 months I'm going to do this again, or in 4 months, or give or take, and you can 100% join in with me. I will be probably running another free group at that point, probably 2-3 times a year. But if you want to do one straight away, there is one in less than kind of 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks that's happening pre-Christmas before you all go away. You then have a good idea of where your fitness is, and then you can go off and train from then or in the new year, okay? Just knowing where you're at. Nice. If you've got high rocks, if you've got runs, if you've got anything like that, it'd be so good to get you on, and you'll know where you're at with your fitness, and you'll be able to make better decisions based off that, okay? Because we have this cool little ratio graph down here, which can help you make differences and correct our choices for our programming. Right, without further ado, look out for this series. Obviously, I'm going to talk about each day and each kind of batch of tests a little bit more in depth in different videos, and then actually within each test, what we should be going and do and programming considerations post, okay? Yeah, which hasn't been explained in this video whatsoever. Nice. Right, guys, thanks for watching. obviously look out for everything. Leave a comment, like, message me if you really want to. Obviously this series will be continuing. The podcast is always up every single week. If you want anything else done, video, content wise, let me know. And hopefully I'll be less nasally next time. See you later.